Welcome, everyone, to the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. This is the first race of the season for these Super Late Models, and it should be an awesome race because tonight we are racing at the fan favorite North Wilkesboro Speedway for some retro racing action here. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atman Leeson. I'm excited to be calling all of the races all throughout the season here with the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. We got a great group of drivers racing here tonight, and it's definitely going to be an awesome race because here's how the format is going to look for tonight. Right now, we're getting ready for practice to wrap up. Thomas Axum is the fastest. 18.21 is his fastest time. After that, we're going to have qualifying, where we will see the top 15 in qualifying will be advancing. Then after that, the rest of the drivers that did not advance and that weren't in the top 15 will have to fight through in a heat race, and the top 5 finishers in the heat race will advance to the feature, which will then have 20 cars in the feature. So there's going to be some people that in the end will not be able to make the feature, so these drivers are going to have to fight really, really hard to try to stay in the race and make it to the race. A lot of pressure is on for these drivers. Again, currently in practice, Thomas Axum is the fastest. 18.21 is his fastest time. Fastest time is 18.21 for Thomas Axum. Then Jason Warren is second with 18.25. He's only 400ths off of him. Third is Donald Clark. 18.27 is his fastest time. Fourth is Cody Pannell, 18.35. And then fifth is Eddie Smith, 18.36. Now, I mentioned earlier that Jason Warren is number 2 on the board. He was last season's champion. He pretty much dominated the season, won majority of the race, and just had an overall great season. And it was Jason Warren won the championship. We saw Michael Swink. He ended up getting second in points. There you see him in that 51 Toyota machine. And then Josh the Jet Oswald took third in points. And all 3 of them are in the session tonight. They're going to be coming back to try to see if they can get another great season finish. I do also want to mention, here is what the schedule is going to be looking for this season. Tonight it's going to be Lanier. Tonight's going to be North Wilkesboro. Then next week, Lanier, Southern National, 5 Flags. Then we're going to go to Martinsville. We're going to have USA, Langley, Stafford, the Last Break Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, the Las Vegas Bull Ring, Richmond Raceway, and then the season finale on November 4th will be at Hickory Motor Speedway. So we will have 4 months of racing action for you here on Intensity Broadcasting with the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. Top 3 in the series will be getting trophies, and these are brought to you by Hitman Manzo and Shappy Edits. So practice is wrapping up, and we are getting ready for qualifying. Again, 15 from qualifying will advance to the feature, and the rest of the drivers will have to fight their way in through the heat race. So there we go. We are officially getting ready for qualifying, and already we're seeing some drivers get onto the track. Got Shannon Wilder. He's the first on the track. We'll see how well he's going to do. You see him going up to the top, all the way up against the wall to build up as much momentum as possible before his first lap. So let's see how he does. And we'll see some other drivers as well get on the board as well. Shannon Wilder to the top, 18.99 is his fastest time. He is then surpassed by Michael Swink. Michael Swink is then surpassed by Mike Hasty. And then we see Jason Warren to the top of the board, 18.31 is his fastest time. Second is Mike Hasty, 18.46. And then third is Shannon Wilder with 18.51 as his fastest time. Still, we see more than a tenth separates first and second. Jason Warren just had a really, really, really great lap. Awesome job. We know that he's fast. I mean, he was last season's champion. Mike Hasty again second. We see Eddie Smith is able to gain about 300ths and get by Shannon Wilder. Smith is now in third in that awesome Monster Energy paint scheme. We see Sam Wetstein. He is on track right now. He just completed his second lap, and Thomas Axum, your leader in practice, just flew to the top of the board with a 18.30. That's only 100th faster than Jason Warren, so only 100th separates the top two right now. Very, very close battle for the pole at the moment. We still have a lot of people that still need to get on the board. We got Daniel Roberts on track in that black number 63 machine. He is actually, I believe, slowing down to a stop right now. Frank Barbary, he is on track right now. And Barbary's also slowing down. We see Cody Pannell in the Red Bull machine. He's on track. Donald Clark able to break into the top three with a 18.32 as his fastest time. That's only 200ths off of the leader, and the top three is only separated by 200ths. We saw a very, very close battle for the pole. Right now, Shane Bedford is sitting on that 15th and final spot. And right now, it's looking like he is going to be the last driver to advance to the feature. Thomas Axum, Jason Warren, Donald Clark, Cody Pannell, Mike Hasty, Eddie Smith, Shannon Wilder, Frank Barbary, David Locke Jr., Aaron Ward, Josh Oswald, Samuel Roberts, Daniel Roberts, Sam Wetstein, and Shane Bedford all will be advancing to the feature. Now, drivers like Mike Steffen, Ryan Pannell, Jason Lottridge, Kobe Roberts, William Griffith, Michael Swink, Tracy Pannell, Nathan Hall, Nick Schaefer, Cody Knott, Charlie Gage Jr., they are going to have to advance to the feature from the heat races. And only 5 of the drivers that I just named are going to be able to advance. And the total is going to come to 20 cars in the final feature. But once again, Thomas Axum in the 998 has advanced to the feature, and he is starting on the pole, which is definitely where you want to be at a track like North Wilkesboro. Yep, everybody that's qualified is going to qualify, so we're going to do just a quick flyby of the field and all the driver information on everybody. Appreciate that, Alex. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to try to make this as big of a show as I possibly can for y'all. We'll see how it goes. I know North Wilkesboro is a very tricky track, so I'm interested to see how all the racing action is going to go. And we see qualifying is wrapping up. So here we go. 12 drivers are going to be in this heat race, and only 5 are going to be able to advance from the feature. Let's take a look at the starting lineup and who all is in this heat race. Starting on the pole with a good time of 18.702, we got Mike Steffen starting on the pole. Outside of him, it's Ryan Pannell. Jason Lottridge in the 188 starting third. Outside of him from Georgia, it's Kobe Roberts. And then rounding out your top 5, it is Mr. William Griffith. 6th is Michael Swink. He finished 2nd in the point standings last season. 7th, Tracy Pannell. 8th with Richard Childress Racing. We got the 20 of Nathan Hall. 9th is Nick Shaver. And then 20th is Cody Knott. 10th is Cody Knott. 11th, Charlie Gage Jr. And 12th is Matthew Johnson. So here we go. 12 cars in this event, only one is going to be only 5 are going to be able to advance to this feature, and let's see who those 5 are going to be. We're going to have some drivers that won't be able to make it to the feature, and I've got to say, I'm going to hate it for them, but that's why you got to race your very, very best here in this heat race, or else you're going to get knocked out and not have the chance to race in the feature. Take a look at the race info. 73 degrees Fahrenheit, air temperature, 8% humidity, cloudy skies, 3 miles per hour wind speed. The track temperature is hot and slick, 115 degrees. We're in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Track length is 0.52, so a short track. Pace car is going to be pulling in this time by. There you see him head down.
Green, green, green.
And green flag is out. There we see both Mike Steffen and Ryan Pannell taking off. They are side by side here into turns 1 and 2. And oh no! We see Ryan Pannell gets loose and gets into the outside wall, and that causes a big pileup. Caution is out. We weren't even able to complete one lap. That was a nasty lick that Ryan Pannell took there. Let's take a look at what exactly happened. I didn't get too good of an angle on that one in real time, so let's just see the replay. So both Ryan Pannell and Michael Steffen got good restarts. Pretty much equal as they crossed the line. We saw Pannell had the nose as we were going here into turns 1 and 2. And oh, the car just seems to come out from under him. And you see he begins to get sideways trying to save it. He's boom, right into the outside wall, crinkles that front end. We see Michael Swink plows into him. The 20 of Nathan Hall's involved, and I believe a few others as well. But man, you hate to see it for Ryan Pannell. I mean, he didn't even get to complete a lap, was starting on the front row, and that might hurt his chances of advancing to the feature. See, he's coming in, possibly to get that damage fixed. Again, took a nasty hit to the wall there. Hate to see it for him. He looked very, very fast in qualifying and definitely had a chance to make it to the feature, but that might hurt his chances. You never know, though. Let's see if he can get back out there. Yes, he's able to get back out there without going a lap down. He still has a chance to make it in, but it is going to be difficult. He's got to make it to 5th if he wants to advance to the feature, 5th or above. Yeah, car just snapped and came out from under him. Again, you hate to see it. Hadn't even completed a lap yet. But we're getting ready to restart. Michael Steffen restarting on the bottom. Kobe Roberts restarting on the top. Here we come. We're coming to the restart zone for these drivers. Pace car is in, and green flag is back out there. We see Mike Steffen taking off, and oh, we're seeing another wreck. Man, these restarts are showing to be tricky for these drivers, and we're just going to keep on staying green. Mike Steffen is able to keep in the lead. We currently have a battle right now for 5th between Nick Schaefer and Nathan Hill. This is for that final spot to advance into the feature. Nathan Hall just trying to set up the pass. Just can't quite get under Schaefer. Schaefer looking high, trying to see if he can get by Tracy Pannell for 4th. Looking low, trying to send it here in 1 and 2. Can't quite get under him. We see Michael Swink is beginning to reel in Jason Latridge for 2nd. Swink has a little bit of damage from that first incident. And it looks like Lawridge is actually extending his gap a little bit over Michael Swink. Last time by, Jason ran his fastest lap time of the race. Back to the battle for fourth. We see Nick Shaver continue to taking shots at Tracy Pannell. Keeps getting very, very close to that rear quarter panel. He's getting there. And we also see Tracy Pannell is also beginning to catch up to Michael Swink as well. Ooh. We saw Nick Shafer barely misses making contact with Tracy Pannell there. And Tracy Pannell has gotten right up to Michael Swink's back bumper. We're getting ready to see a battle for third here in just a second. There goes Pannell looking low here on this front stretch. But Michael Swink doing a great job playing defense. Tracy Pannell is now side by side with Michael Swink. They make a little bit of contact. Swink into the outside wall. We see, Nick Shafer barely misses Tracy Pannell's back bumper. And they're going to continue to chase each other for this battle for third. Oh, no! Tracy Pannell into the outside wall. We see Nick Shafer pouncing on the opportunity. He is going to move into third. The 3 is in P3 right now. We do see a battle for that final spot starting to brew. Michael Swink trying to reel in Tracy Pannell. These two were battling a little bit earlier. Swink got into the outside wall, fell back, and now these two are back together battling for fifth, that final spot to advance to the feature. We see Pannell getting right up to Cody Knott's back bumper. Gave it almost a little tap there. Oh, Michael Swink is around once again. These drivers are having a lot of trouble here at North Wilkesboro, we're seeing so far in this heat race. North Wilkesboro, very, 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 very tricky track. See, looks like it's looking like Tracy Pannell is going to be able to hold on to that fifth and final spot, whether it's going to be him or Cody Knott who finishes fifth. The gap between Pannell and sixth place Nathan Hall is 1 second, and we're coming to 3 to go. So right now it's looking like the 5 that'll advance to the feature are Mike Steffen, Nick Shafer, Jason Lotridge, Cody Knott, and Tracy Pannell. Question is who's going to finish fifth. That's what we're watching right now. We saw Tracy Pannell take a shot to the outside of Cody Knott. No, he gives him a little bit of a tap and is looking low. Final lap. Mike Steffen on to the back stretch. Has pretty much led every single lap here in this heat race, and he's going to lead the last and most important one here. Michael Steffen wins the heat race and will be advancing to the feature along with Nick Shafer, Jason Lotridge, Tracy Pannell, and Cody Knott. Sadly, Nathan Hall, Ryan Pannell, William Griffith, Kobe Roberts, Charlie Gates Jr., Michael Swink, and Matthew Johnson, all of them will not be advancing to the feature. But again, there is always next race, and hopefully we'll see them back and better than ever next week at Lanier. So currently we have another 2-minute warm-up just to give these drivers a little bit more time to turn some laps, get acclimated to the track, and maybe make some adjustments with the setup before the feature. And we'll also watch to see, who's setting some fast times. Man, but in that little bit of a heat race that we saw, it definitely showed that these drivers were definitely having a tough time here. North Wilkesboro, very, very tricky track. We see Shannon Wilder to the top of the board right now with an 18.52. Eddie Smith is in second. Donald Clark is in third. Cody Pannell to second with an 18.62. Frank Barbary's in third with an 18.64. Right now, between second and first, there's only a tenth separating Cody Pannell and Shannon Wilder. I definitely say that a lot of people are focused on the favorites, Jason Warren, Thomas Axum, Donald Clark, but I'd say that Shannon Wilder is my dark horse pick to win this race. You never can count out that 10 machine. See, Donald Clark jumps to the top of the board with an 18.49. So that is about 0.3 faster, and then he improves it that next lap. 18.38. Donald Clark on a whole nother level here in this practice session, looking very, very fast. He is definitely one of the favorites to win this race. Frank Barbary into the top three with an 18.60, only 0.8 off of second. So here we go. The field is set and we are ready to go here for this feature. Let's take a look at your 20-car starting lineup presented by the Thunderstruck Super Series. Starting on the pole with a scorching time of 18.298, it's Thomas Axum. Outside of him, it's last season's champion, Jason Warren. In third, it's Donald Clark. Outside of him, it's Cody Pannell, with Pannell racing in that 9 machine. Rounding out your top 5, it is Mr. Mike Hasty. Sixth is Eddie Smith. 7th is going to be that 10 machine of Shannon Wilder. 5 Kings Motorsports' very own Frank Barbary is starting 8th. 9th will be David Locke Jr., and then rounding out your top 10, it is Aaron Ward. 11th is Josh the Jet Oswald. 12th, Samuel Roberts. 13th will be Daniel Roberts. 14th, Sam Wetstein with Extreme Motorsports. And rounding out your top 15, we have Shane Bedford. Mike Steffen, your heat race winner with Moneymakers Motorsports, is starting 16th. 17th is Nick Schaefer. 18th, Jason Lottridge. 19th is Tracy Pannell. And then the driver who grabbed that last and final spot to advance to the feature was Cody Knott. So here we go. 20 cars are getting set to run in this 125-lap race. We know the track is very, very slick, very, very hot track. We'll see how the drivers handle that. And I think this is going to be a great race. 125 laps of action. Once again, Thomas Axum starting on the bottom, Jason Warren on the top. I know this might be confusing throughout the race, but Thomas Axum is on the 13 on the track, but 998 on the ticker. So just keep that in mind when you're watching the race in action. I know it might be confusing. It's confusing for me for sure. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
And there we go. Green flag is out here at North Wilkesboro for 125 laps here in this super late models. We see Thomas Axum is able to get clear from Jason Warren early. Here comes Donald Clark trying to look under Jason Warren for that second spot, but Jason Warren is able to get clear. Donald Clark trying to set up the pass. He's starting to get back up there to Warren's back bumpers. Your first lap here is completed. Clark trying to set up the pass right now. See him trying to wheel it, trying to get as low as possible to get under Jason Warren. We'll say Donald is very, very smooth with the wheel. And that's allowing him to get right up to Warren's back bumper. What is Donald Clark going to do? He has a perfect opportunity to pounce and try to make a pass. He's right on Warren's back bumper. He can make a move at any second. Saw him peak high, saw him peak low. Just continuing to evaluate the situation here. We see Warren was actually extending his gap a little bit between him and Donald Clark there on the back stretch. Donald Clark barely missed getting into Warren's back bumper. That was a close one for sure. See Donald Clark continuing to peak high, peak low. Just trying to find the right spot to make the pass. And Thomas Axum is loving seeing these two battling because this is just going to allow him to continue to extend his lead. Ooh, again, Donald Clark barely misses getting into Warren's back bumper. These two are running tight right now. See Cody Pannell also trying to get up there to join the party. And there we go! We see Donald Clark making the move. He looks under Jason Warren and he gets clear. So Donald Clark now in second. He is going to set his sights on your leader, Thomas Axum, who currently has a 7/10 lead over the rest of the field. Cody Pannell now trying to track down Jason Warren for third. I don't know. It just looked like Jason Warren washed up the track a little bit, and that just gave Donald Clark ample room to look under him. Pannell is right there. I think right now he's waiting for Warren to make another mistake washing up the track like that to let him under. Definitely got to be careful here at North Wilkesboro. It's easy to mess up and make a mistake. And that's exactly what we saw there. See Cody Pannell. Man, that Red Bull car just hasn't been able to get under Jason Warren so far. We see already, after 14 laps completed, those brake rotors are glowing hot red. As these drivers are slamming the brakes hard into the corners here at North Wilkesboro. And that's one thing right now that Cody Pannell is looking for to get by Jason Warren is braking zones. Trying to out-brake your opponent is the main thing. If you want to be faster than everybody else, you definitely have to look at, your throttle to brake ratio to make sure that you're not in the brake too much, but you're not in the throttle too much enough to where you might spin or mess up. Field's starting to get spread out as everybody's turning some good laps right now. Right now, Thomas Axum with a 1-second lead over second place, Donald Clark. He's just kind of on a Sunday drive right now. You see, very, very smooth with the wheel. Man, definitely showing us how smooth he's going through these corners. Man, Thomas Axum doing a great job in that number 13 machine. I do want to shout out one driver, Mike Steffen. He has gained 4 positions since the green flag came out. Started in 16th, won the heat race, and he's just been getting position after position. Right now, he's trying to get by David Locke Jr. for 11th. I think he's just going to continue to gain even more positions, and I think we might see him in the top 10, maybe even top 5 in no time. Watch out for sure. Watch out for that 669. Of Mike Steffen. Again, he's trying to pass David Locke Jr. there for that 11th spot. So right now, top 10 is pretty much spread out. The main action on the track is the battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And this is between Frank Barbary, Samuel Roberts, David Locke Jr., and Mike Steffen. We'll be watching all four of these guys, to see, who's going to be making some moves. You see Mike Steffen continuing to look low under David Locke Jr., trying to see if he can get under him, maybe get to the rear quarter panel of the door. I don't know what, let's see, Steffen is going to try to do, whether he's going to try to look high or look low. We will see. And oh no, David Locke Jr. gets loose off a 2 into the grass, and that is going to give Mike Steffen that 11th position. Definitely hate to see that battle ends with David Locke Jr. getting into the grass, but he is able to get back going, and hopefully he won't go a lap down. Sadly, it looks like he will go a lap down as we see Thomas Axum making that pass. Hate to see it for David Locke Jr., but I don't know, maybe in the near future we'll see David Locke Jr. get a chance to get that lap back. You see Axum still with about a 1.5, 1.6 second lead right now over Donald Clark, just continuing to extend it. Smooth and steady, wins the race, and that's how it's looking for Thomas Axum right now. We look to see Cody Pannell just continuing to try to chase Jason Warren. He's been able to get to the back bumper plenty of times, but he hasn't been able to look low. Cody Pannell has got to make a pass fast because he's got Eddie Smith and that 87 Monster Energy machine coming for him. Eddie Smith about 0.6 behind Pannell at the moment and just continuing to gain on him. I see Cody Pannell trying to look high. Again, he's just trying to decide how he's going to be able to make the pass on Jason Warren. I know Pannell, he's been behind Warren for plenty of laps now, and it's got to be frustrating for him. He's been waiting so long to make a pass. Oh, but there we go. We see Pannell looking low here in 1 and 2. Got about to the rear quarter panel, but we see Jason Warren get back clear. I'm not sure what happened to Warren. I think he might have gotten the grass a little bit, was running a pretty low line and just clipped that grass a little bit, and that got him a little bit loose. And that helped Cody Pannell look low under him, but he's back clear, back going, and it's back to the drawing board here for Cody Pannell. Oh, looks like something happened to Samuel Roberts. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, looks like we saw the 669 of Steffen make a little bit of contact with him. And he spins and goes through the grass. That is definitely a shame for Samuel Roberts for sure. See Cody Pannell back behind Warren, continuing to try to make the pass. And we see Eddie Smith has finally gotten right up to Cody Pannell's back bumper. Continue to, but one driver who has had such a tough break is definitely David Locke Jr. Started in 9th and was around 10th until the entire time until he got loose off a 2, went into the grass, and then ended up falling a lap down, and he's currently in last place at the moment. Actually, he looks like he just made a pass to go into 19th, but still, that's not the place where David Locke Jr. wants to be. I bet he is definitely itching to maybe see a caution come out so he can get his lap back, or something might happen to the leader where he can make a pass. But right now, it's not looking like anything eventful is happening to Thomas Axum right now. Has almost a 3-second lead now over second place Donald Clark. He has dominated this race here so far at North Wilkesboro. What a race it has been for him. Look back to this 3-car battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. See Cody Pannell got right up there to Warren's back bumper. Look to the high side. And he's right there. And there we go. We see he's looking low here, and 1 and 2 got about to the rear quarter panel, and then he falls right behind. Eddie Smith just continuing to get up there to the back bumper. Love to see the tight battles going on here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Looks like they're having to deal with some lap cars. I was wondering if we might see Pannell or Eddie Smith try to use the lap cars as a pick, but that does not happen. We did see Lottridge do the responsible thing and go up to the high side to allow everybody else to go by. Woo! We see Cody Pannell gives Jason and Warren a little tap there, letting you know, hey, I'm here. And I want to get by. I know Cody has been stuck behind Warren now for laps and laps and laps and laps, and he's got to be eager to finally get by that number 32 machine. But you got to remember, he's trying to pass last season's champion, Jason Warren, someone who won almost every single race this season. But right now, it's looking like Jason Warren definitely has some competition between Donald Clark in second and Thomas Axum in first. Looks like Thomas Axum is having to deal with a lot of lap traffic. If he's going to keep on leading this race, there's going to be more where that came from, that's for sure. Again, looks like Cody Pannell gave Warren another little tap again, letting him know, hey, I'm here and I'm fast. I can get by you if I want to. Looks like, oh no, we see Jason Warren wash his way up the track, and I kind of want to look at that replay again. Hold up. This was for 3rd right here. That surprised me. So Cody Pannell was just trying to get by Jason Warren for 3rd here. He's looking low here on entry of 3. And looks like he gets into the grass, and then the grass kind of pushes him up the track and then right into Jason Warren. Man, Jason Warren was having such a great race, and he falls all the way to 7th now. Hate to see it for him. See, Eddie Smith was able to make it by Cody Pannell, and he is now in that 3rd spot. So the field beginning to definitely get spread out right now between everyone. I do want to again check in on Mike Steffen, your heat race winner. He's currently in that 9th spot. Started in 16th. And has quickly made his way up through the field, making pass after pass after pass. Right now, there's about a 3-second gap between him and the next car that he needs to pass, Aaron Ward. Behind him, he's trying to hold off Sam Wetstein and Josh the Jet Oswald. See Shannon Wilder currently right on Mike Hasty's back bumper. This is the battle for 5th. A top 5 is where all the good points are at. If you can get a top 5 during the first race of the season, that could definitely help you all throughout the season for sure. Having that top 5 finish to your name. And it's looking like Shannon Wilder wants it bad. He's trying to take a shot down low under Mike Hasty. I don't know. What's Wilder going to try to do here? I haven't done this in a while. Let's take a look at in-car cam. See, look, he looked high there. The place to pass, though, is definitely on the inside for sure. Again, I know he's trying to be aggressive, but at the same time not trying to get into the back bumper of that number 72 machine of Hasty. And uh-oh, look who's trying to join the party. Here comes Jason Warren. And that number 32 machine, coming off a little bit of an incident, he's trying to make his way up to the field after he fell to 7th, which is where he still currently is. Definitely had a tough break. We see actually, it's looking like Mike Hasty's actually starting to extend his gap a little bit over Shannon Wilder, and Jason Warren's catching up. He's definitely taking shots down low. He just can't quite get under them. Check back in on up front. Thomas Axum is almost to a 4.5 second lead right now over Donald Clark, and he is still in a mess of lap cars. He's so far put 12th on back a lap down, and he's looking to try to get by Sam Wetstein, put 11 of the 20 cars 11th on back a lap down. And he does. So that's going to mean only 10 cars are on the lead lap. Thomas Axum putting on a clinic right now. Here comes Jason Warren on Shannon Wilder's back bumper, trying to make a pass here to get back up to the field again. We saw Warren have a little bit of a tough break that shot him to 7th. And he's just trying to shake it off and get back up through the field. Let's see. Looking to the high side, peeking up there. Let's see. He's trying to look low here in 3 and 4. We see Wilder washes up the track a little bit, and here comes Warren down low. And he gets clear. Jason Warren now up to 6th. That's one step closer to getting back where he was, up in 3rd. I think, See, right now with the field spread out, right now is definitely the perfect opportunity for pump up the intensity. So here we go. There we go. There's pump up the intensity for you. See Charlie Gatz on YouTube says Jason putting on a show. Let's see. Looks like Jason Warren was able to make it by Mike Hasty and is up to 5th right now. Now I will say there is 4 seconds between him and 4th place right now. So if he wants to get back up to Cody Pannell, and I think, let's just say if he can get up there, there's going to be some tight racing between those two. Because, wow, that was, again, a crazy wreck that happened. Again, here is the replay. You saw Cody Pannell just got into the grass and shot up right into Jason Warren. That's why he fell all the way down to 5th. At one point, Jason Warren was in 3rd. But he fell all the way down through the field. Only 7 cars right now are on the lead lap at the moment. That's Shannon Wilder, Mike Hasty, Jason Warren, Cody Pannell, Eddie Smith, Donald Clark, and Thomas Axum. Those are your 7 cars on the lead lap. He says, yeah, but Cody hears the music from Jaws. Absolutely. I would be a bit worried when I see Jason Warren / Jaws coming up on me. But again, there is a 4-second gap between Jason Warren and Cody Pannell right now, but we might see the gap close in the next couple of laps. We will see. We're currently 81 of 125 completed. Still a lot of race left. A lot can happen. The closest battle right now is Cody Pannell trying to get back up there to Eddie Smith in 3rd right now. I don't know if he can get up there. Take a look at some other storylines as well going on. Again, Mike Steffen, your heat race winner, currently in 10th right now. Started the race in 16th and has worked his way up to the field very quickly. Trying to hold off Sam Wetstein at the moment, and he's trying to catch up to Josh Oswald, who is 2 seconds in front of him. I will say Mike Steffen is a lap down. A lot of that is because, again, Thomas Axum with the very crazy performance. I mean, he has done amazing so far. But the interesting fact about Thomas Axum is that he actually does not have the fastest lap of the race. That actually goes to Donald Clark in 2nd. He set an 18.42 while Thomas Axum set a 18.45. Actually, Thomas Axum is 30 as the third fastest lap of the race, as we saw Jason Warren set a 18.43. So although Thomas Axum is not the fastest, he has just been consistent, and that is definitely key here at North Wilkesboro. With that, he's got a 7-second lead right now over everybody else. The big tough break is definitely going to go to David Locke Jr. Here's what happened to him. Got loose off a 2 and then into the grass. That put him all the way down to last. And oh, we see some pit stops going on. Daniel Roberts in the 63. Bringing that 63 in to maybe get some fuel. I know there's no tire sets in this league, so he's probably getting some fuel and then maybe getting some damage fixed as well. The fact that it's been green all the way might suggest we might see a fuel mileage finish, so it's not out of the question to maybe see some drivers coming in later on to get some fuel to last them the rest of the race. We see Shannon Wilder trying to get up there to Mike Hasty in 6th. These two were battling, and then we saw Jason Warren come up and pass both of them, and that kind of stopped these two's battle, but they've caught back up to each other, and I think the battles are going to continue to resume between Hasty and Wilder. Let's see, let's take a look here at the in-car cam of Wilder right now. Just trying to run it as smooth as possible to get to that number 72 machine. Looks like they're actually going by some lap traffic. That's the 116 Tracy Pannell. Looks like he's causing them some trouble. And oh, look at this. Shannon Wilder up to the high side. And actually looks like he's allowing Thomas Axum to put him a lap down. So that's going to mean there's only 6 cars right now on the lead lap. I mean, gosh, Thomas Axum has just put on quite the clinic. The flagman has definitely been busy holding up that move over flag because, man, looks like he's actually looking to the outside of Mike Hasty right now and getting ready to put only 5 cars on the lead lap. Yep, there we go. Gosh, this is wild. For sure, Brandon, this has been some serious green flag racing. It's been caution-free since the green flag came out. We did see a lot of trouble happen in the heat race. It was a very, 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 very eventful heat race. But this race has been just crazy, seeing Thomas Axum just put on the show that he has put on. I mean, wow. It's been absolutely crazy. So right now, we're going to do a flyby of the field. Check out everybody. First, right now in first, it's Thomas Axum. Second is Donald Clark. He has the fastest lap of the race. Third is Eddie Smith in that Monster Energy machine. Love that paint scheme on that machine. See Cody Pannell in 4th. 5th is last season's champion, Jason Warren. 6th is Mike Hasty. 7th is Shannon Wilder, who is currently right on his back bumper right now. 8th is Josh the Jet Oswald. He finished top 3 in points last season. He got 3rd. 9th is Aaron Ward. That 99 machine. 10th, Mike Steffen. You may also know him from the Short Track Super League races that we broadcasted. Behind him, it's Sam Wetstein. Another recognizable voice. You might recognize him. He does a lot of announcing. Samuel Roberts in 12th. Frank Barbary is in 13th. Got Mr. Shane Bedford. I do love that paint scheme on that machine. He's in 14th. Nick Schaefer in 15th. See, David Locke Jr., he definitely had a tough break. He is in 16th. Cody Knott, 17th. Tracy Pannell, 18th. Jason Lottridge, 19th. And then last but not least is Daniel Roberts. He's parked it, put it into the pits. I think he might be done for the day. So 23 to go. 22 this time by. As we continue to watch Thomas Axum just put a bunch of cars a lap down, put cars that are already a lap down, more laps down, and I believe he's actually beginning to catch Jason Warren, which is not what Jason Warren wants. I mean, man, to think that if he passes Jason Warren, that's going to mean only 4 cars are on the lead lap. You don't see that very often in racing where only 4 cars finish on the lead lap. Man, it has been a crazy, crazy, crazy race right now. Currently, here's how the tire situation is looking like for these drivers. Your leader, Thomas Axum, last time by was about 0.8 off of his fastest lap time. So definitely we see the tires are wearing a ton. Let's see, this time by was about 0.7 off of his fastest time. I know pretty much everybody in this league, all of these drivers are very, very good at saving tires. And we are seeing that on display tonight here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, a track where tires can play a big, big, big role in who wins and who loses. Axum looking low under Jason Warren. He's going to officially put him a lap down. And Axum is just going to check another box off his list of drivers to put a lap down. Next is going to be Cody Pannell in 4th. He's got 17 laps to get up there to Pannell. I can't really see him right now. I don't know how close he is to Axum. So it might be a little while for Thomas to catch Cody Pannell. Again, currently, here's what the weather is looking right now at North Wilkesboro Speedway. 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 8% humidity, cloudy skies, 3 miles per hour wind speed. The track is very, very slick, very, very hot. 114 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature. And we are in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina at North Wilkesboro Speedway. 0.52 is this track's length. And the cool thing about this track is that nobody has raced at Wilkesboro in years, but still it is very, very cool that us iRacers get the chance to enjoy this track even though nobody races there in real life anymore. And there have been efforts recently to try to save the Speedway. I know there is actually a Twitter page where you can get more information on how you can support the cause to get North Wilkesboro back and running. It's called Save the Speedway on Twitter. Look them up if you're maybe interested in the cause and, helping North Wilkesboro Speedway get back to its former glory back in the 80s and 90s. I know a lot of people, a lot of North Carolina residents and NASCAR fans miss having the track around, and it would just be awesome to get racing back on North Wilkesboro. Maybe even NASCAR back on North Wilkesboro. 10 laps to go for Thomas Axum right now. That's the gap. We see Kai Shapart says, awesome broadcast. Bentley, thank you. Kai, thank you for tuning in to watch the broadcast on YouTube. As it has been a very, very great race so far. A bit uneventful. It's been green flag all the way, but I do want to applaud these drivers for just having such clean racing. We've seen so much clean racing. A lot of give and take. And that's the key to getting a great green flag run and lots of green flag laps. We do see Cody Pannell might be catching Eddie Smith a little bit. I do think Eddie might have been slowed down by some of these lap cars. But this is kind of allowing Cody Pannell to begin to catch them again. I know Pannell and Smith were battling for a little bit. But in the end, we saw Eddie got the best of Cody. And oh no, we see a wreck with 5 to go. And it's Mike Steffen. That's going to ruin his good race. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, we just saw him and Jason Warren make some contact. Steffen into the outside wall and then into the inside safer barrier. Steffen was our biggest mover of the race. Was having a great run in the top 10 for most of the race. Sadly, I think his night might have ended because of that incident. Hate to see it for Mike Steffen. So Thomas Axum is going to make it 2 laps to go for these drivers. Right now, your top 3 is looking like this. Thomas Axum in first, Donald Clark in second, and Eddie Smith in third. And here we go. 1 lap to go for Thomas Axum. If he leads this final lap, he will have led every single lap of this race. Here we go. He's able to make it through turns 3 and 4. And Thomas Axum gets the victory here at North Wilkesboro. Donald Clark, he is heading through 3 and 4 right now. And we are seeing a great battle for third. Here comes Cody Pannell looking low under Eddie Smith. And Cody is going to take third place. And wait, I think Eddie Smith has ran out of gas. And that is going to stink for him. So Cody Pannell finishes third, and Thomas Axum takes the victory. And I believe after Thomas is finishing doing his burnouts, we're going to see the very well-known Thunderstruck Demolition Derby live and in person for you all. And definitely Thomas Axum with the deserving burnout did an awesome, awesome, awesome job. Burning it down. Very, very long burnout for Thomas Axum. It looks like he blew the motor doing burnouts. He's gonna do what in the world? Oh, he's going into the pits. Alright, so with pretty much everybody manually disconnected, we are getting ready for the driver interview, starting off with third place finisher Cody Pannell, the man from Good Hope, Georgia. Cody, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. Started in fourth, and we saw you were pretty much in the top 5 for most of this race. We saw a great battle between you and Jason Warren for third there, and then we saw you get in the grass and washed up a little bit in the track and made contact with Jason, and then Eddie was able to get by you, and he was in third for most of the race. And we saw on that final lap he ran out of fuel, and you were able to get back by him and into the top 3. I mean, what did you think of this race, Cody?
It was really an up and down race for me. And first and foremost, I want to apologize to Jason it was a really intense battle between he and I overcooked it going into 3 that one time. And I don't know if I got the grass or just locked the fronts up and got into him. So I apologize to him for that. I didn't say anything to him during the race. I was going to wait until afterwards. But me and Jason have always raced each other hard and clean. And just first and foremost, apologize to him. But other than that, man, it was a really good race. I think it was pretty awesome that we were able to put on 125 laps green here. So, yeah, good race overall.
How were you looking on fuel? I know Eddie ran out. Were you able to make it for how much longer were you able to make it?
I think I probably had another 10 laps or so there. I'd started backing up the corners pretty good, and I think that allowed me to save that extra little bit. And congratulations also to Thomas on the win. It's a pretty dominant performance, lapped all the way up to 4th place. So congratulations to him as well.
Awesome. Is there anybody you would like to thank before we let you go, Cody?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Garland Roberts Trucking, for making all this happen, and for you for the broadcast, and for these guys for letting me race with them.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the 3rd, Cody. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
So there we go. That was Cody Pannell. Now let's go ahead and talk to 2nd place finisher Donald Clark. Donald, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I'm with you, Atlee.
Awesome. Well, great performance for you tonight. We saw you started in 3rd. You were able to get by Jason Warren early, and then you were in 2nd place for most of the race, just couldn't get up there to Thomas. He ended up finishing with a 12-second lead over you, but you were able to keep up enough to not go a lap down, and you were able to hold off Cody, Eddie, Jason, and everybody else and end up taking that 2nd spot. I mean, what did you think about all the action here at North Wilkesboro?
Thomas was at a class of his own tonight. He was checked out for sure. This is by far not one of my best racetracks. I typically don't run good here, so coming out of here with the 2nd place finish, it doesn't feel too bad.
Now, what all changes did you make to the setup between, practice and qualifying that helped you here in the future?
Well, this is a fixed setup league this year, so we can't make any changes to it.
No, maybe just anything with the steering ratio, brake bias?
No, I didn't change any of that stuff.
I got you. Well, still,
I changed the brakes a good bit throughout the race, but that's it.
That's it, got you. Well, still, awesome run for you. I mean, is there anybody I'd like to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, all my 09 Motorsports guys. Great group of guys to work with, man. Just to be able to hang out with them and race with them, it's just a tremendous thing to do here. And all my support group, my wife Crystal, for letting me do what I like to do and get on here and race with the guys. I mean, it's really fun to do this stuff.
For sure. Well, congratulations on 2nd, Donald, and have a great rest of your night.
Thank you, bud.
And now it is time for the man of the hour, your winner, the 998 of Thomas Axum. Here we go. Let's get started. Thomas, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I hear you.
Awesome. Well, man, what a race for you. Started on the pole and led from flag to flag. I mean, you were on a whole nother level compared to everybody else. Ended up finishing with a 12-second lead over 2nd place. I mean, what did you think of this dominate performance here tonight at North Wilkesboro?
I definitely loved the green to checkered run. Just waited till lap 50, and then as soon as it hit 50, I just decided to go and see what I could get done. And very consistent setup for 125 green flag laps. I only fell off 9/10, so I ended off in the very low 1s to O's. at the end, and we fired off in Q with the 18-2, and I was hitting 19 O's and 19 low ones after 125 laps. That's pretty good for a league fixed setup. It's pretty comfy, a little tight, but got to be like that to be racy, and just can't get the push out of the cars at a track like North Wilkesboro. It was a fun race. Definitely going to be more interesting because I'm going to not qualify next week and drive through, see what happens. It's fun starting up front, dominating, but going to make it more interesting and start from the back next week.
Got you. Now, I will say, what's the secret to putting on a dominant performance, leading from flag to flag, and putting as many lap cars down a lap as you did?
Just focus up, and you got to rail the bottom. Got to be all over the bottom. People, the top was good late in the run, but the early in the race, people, you got to be a lot lower than people think. It's a whole tenth and a half each corner when you miss the bottom. So it's just got to be low and rip by. Be very patient with the lap cars. Let them race because they're battling for position. You're just going by them. So let them get their thing. Let them get their thing out of their way, and then just follow through or make a hole. And, just be consistent.
For sure. Well, anybody you would like to thank for your win?
Hey, well, shout out to you for putting this thing on. A little broadcast. I didn't know this thing was broadcasted, so that was pretty cool to go back. And all these guys at Thunderstruck, I saw this league one day on Facebook, and I asked if I could run it, and they got me in there. And I know it's early in the season, so it's pretty cool. So shout out to them guys. And like I just said, shout out to you and just my Studio 10 Designs, Bernier's Liquors.
For sure. Well, congratulations on your victory, Thomas, and have a great rest of your night, and hopefully we'll see another good performance next week as you're going to try to make your way up to the field.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the completion of the season opener for the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. I was definitely impressed at all the race in action and how they were able to go from flag to flag. Awesome racing. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to watch the broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. As always, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. Check us out on Twitter, as we, Intensity Broad 1, as we are dropping polls on there, commenting on all y'all's posts. It's a fun time on there, so check us out. And then last but not least, if you haven't already, make sure to download the eRacing TV app on Roku TV or Fire TV, because 7 nights a week there's a iRacing action on there. I know tonight's Intensity Broadcasting broadcasts were not on eRacing TV, but tomorrow's, Saturday's, and Sunday's broadcast will be on there, so you don't want to miss it. So make sure to download the eRacing TV app. I'm Atlee so on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Over and